Hello, and welcome to Maidens of the Spear, where we talk Wheel of Time and we have a really good time.
So
My
good.
name's Mary Lou,
I'm Sarah Kaplan.
and we love Wheel of Time and we love Twitch.
We love
Today
both
we are
those
doing
things.
something very interesting, very fun. We are ranking all the characters in Wheel of Time.
Okay,
maybe
not all the
all
characters.
of them. Okay, but like most
Actually,
of them.
a fraction of them, because
Actually,
there's like
tiny fraction of them.
2,500 named characters in the Wheel of Time.
Correct. So we're not ranking all 2,500.
No, in fact, we are using the ultimate Wheel of Time character list on tiermaker.com that was put together by Reddit user DParaboles or at Diego on Twitter. So thank you so much for putting this together.
Diego. However, we are doing something a little different. We are saving all of the Forsaken for a separate tier ranking system. They are simply too fabulous to not pay a lot of attention to. So we're taking all the Forsaken out, saving those bad boys. They are going into a separate tier ranking stream.
They'll get their own video. There's a lot to talk about the Forsaken.
Absolutely.
And we're not doing this in terms of strength. It's not like who would win in a 1v1 fight. I think we will do that another time with a more select group of characters.
Oh, definitely.
But we're just like doing gut instincts. Like, do we like these people? Would we want to hear more from them? Or when they showed up in the story, were we like, oh, this bitch again? So that's what we're doing. And, Mary Lou, we're free to try to convince each other to nudge grades one way or another. But I think
absolutely,
we'll just do averages. So all disputes are resolved by just averaging the grades we give them.
So it's going to be super scientific, super
really scientific.
Objective. It's going to be awesome based on whether I think they rock or suck.
Agreed. And probably disagreed, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we probably will.
So number 1, Olivia.
Olivia. So Olivia is the old lady who shows up in like what book, like 11?
Yeah, she's like an old former Damane who gets set loose. And she's like the strongest female channeler
that anybody's ever seen ever.
On the side of the light. Yeah.
And she just kind of doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. And she's the one where Min sees in the vision that like she's going to help Rand die. And then she's like, I don't trust this bitch. And Rand is like, no, it's good.
I love her. Yeah, Rand is like, this bitch. Hell yeah, she's going to help me die.
So where are you putting Olivia?
I'm going to put Olivia in a solid B.
A B?
Yeah.
We could put her to B. My gut instinct was A, but like, relative to how many characters are properly above her, B sounds solid. A good starter average grade.
She's powerful. She's interesting, but I just don't get enough of getting to know her. I just don't know what her deal is. And so for me, she's a B.
I do like about her, though, like we can't spend this long on every character or we'll be here for hours.
Correct.
But I do love that, unlike every other former Damane who is like, I'm too dangerous. I'm just a weapon. Put me back in chains, please, daddy. Olivia is like, oh, finally. It's been like 500 years I've been wearing those motherfuckers.
She's like, yeah, I can do this way better than you can.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So Alana.
Oh, God. What's the lowest tier? D?
D.
Yeah, D. Friggin' hate Alana. I don't care if she apologizes or redeems herself. I find her very stupid. I find her annoying.
Okay. I'm comfortable with a D for Alana. She
bye, bitch.
Just causes problems.
Yeah.
Aludra.
Aludra rocks. Based on just like I like her, A.
A. Yeah,
I don't know. I just do.
Aludra's dope. I'm like tempted to version to S territory, actually.
Oh, interesting. I do love how she's like always just like insulting the men around her.
Always insulting the men. She's always
calling them like
Matt.
hogs and like stupid pigs, and it's very funny.
Her like dragons, eggs, and whatnot that she invents are vital for the victory at Tarmangaidon.
Definitely.
She does like more than maybe any other non-channeler other than like Matt or Perrin, maybe.
Yeah, quite possible.
Anyway,
I still feel A. I still feel A.
A is fine. A is fine. Eludra's an A. Alviarin.
Ugh. C.
C. Agreed. I don't find her that interesting.
I don't find her that interesting. I find her annoying and very negative, but she is powerful and she does cause a lot of shit. So I would give her C instead of D.
Yeah, she's good at her job for sure.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Andral. This is okay. Preface for Andral. This is probably one of the most split opinions I've encountered in the Wheel of Time community.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've told you how I feel about him. How do you feel about Andral?
Andral is Brandon Sanderson's creation. I gotta be honest, I just like the dude.
Yeah.
I just like him.
Before we get the actually crowd involved, yes, we know Andral is specifically mentioned by name one time before Brandon Sanderson takes over the series, but the character Andral is indeed a Brandon Sanderson creation. It's like explicitly a self-insert of his own character. You like him? So what's your grade? What's your gut instinct?
A.
You think he's an A?
He's so powerful. He's just like a normal guy. I love that his characterization is that he's just like a guy.
But he's not. Okay, so this is where he bothers.
No, he's not very powerful, but he's impactful.
The claim that Brandon Sanderson makes about Andral over and over again is that he's just like this guy. And that would have been interesting. Just a guy who's weak in the power, who through creative usage of gateways is able to cause a ruckus. And like, I actually really like that idea. I love that Brandon Sanderson took the reins of the series and was like, well, let's like explore some creative uses of weaves. Like that's what Brandon Sanderson is great at. And I'm glad that he took the time to do that a little bit.
That's how I see Andral. How do you see Andral that differs from that description?
He took it too far. Like Andral just isn't just some guy. Andral is this insanely charismatic leader who instantly takes over like what should have been Logan's storyline, leading the kind of counterculture in the Black Tower. He seems to have been fucking everywhere and done everything and knows everything about the world. Like he's motherfucking Jane Farstrider up in this bitch. Like he's just not a guy. Like for a character who doesn't come in until the end of the story, he's got way too much going on. And
I think a lot of
I think he represents a failure to edit. Like Brandon Sanderson had all these ideas that he wanted to explore and just crammed them all into this one guy. And if this had been Brandon Sanderson's series, it wouldn't have bothered me that much, but it was really jarring as someone who'd been, reading the book since 2007, waiting so long for these stories, waiting for the Gathering Storm. And then finally, thankfully, I'm so glad Brandon finished the series. He did an incredible job. But to wait so long for the series and then spend so much time with this motherfucking character I'd never seen before to the detriment. I want to be spending time with Robert Jordan's characters.
Yeah.
And that turned me against him.
That's why I read the series for it. Yeah.
I think he's interesting. I think he's fun. I think he's creative. I love what he does with the gateway and the lava in the last battle. But I just don't like him as a presence in the series. So I want to give him a C, which I believe puts him in the B category. Yeah,
because I would have given him an A. So that's a solid B.
And I know this is controversial. There are people whose favorite character is Andral, and I just can't.
Oh, that's a little much, you guys. Yeah. Your favorite character is Andral? Okay. Dream a little bigger. You know what I mean?
Entering potential favorite character territory. Avienda.
Okay, this is where I get controversial. I find Avienda annoying.
She is very annoying.
I find her annoying. I find her a bit of a male fantasy. And yes, she's powerful. Yes, I respect her. I love her very much. I like that she's a good friend to the other girls. I like the partner she is with Rand. I found myself reading her chapters okay. Yeah. Waiting to be done with Avienda's chapters.
Yeah.
I like her as a character in the plot, but I didn't want to read from her or hear from her. So out of respect, I'm going to put her in A.
I agree. She feels like an A. Like respect for everything she can do. I love that she's so strong. We are maidens of the spear, and she is obviously far dice my. I agree, though. Her chapters left something to be desired. I felt especially in the last 3 books, they were fairly weak, and it took her so damn long to realize what it needed for her to become a wise one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, if we were talking like strength, if we were talking about like badassery, she'd be a solid S at least.
At least.
Like, in terms of just how much I like her as a character, she's an A. A feels solid to me.
Yeah. Good. Solid. Respect. Okay.
Bashir.
Boring
great
D.
captain. Boring D.
Yeah.
That's fair. I would. Yeah. I mean, to me, is like C, but
okay, C.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't dislike.
He's not as annoying as Alana.
No. You're right. Seeing him next to Alana, that didn't work. I like his mustache.
I see C as like boring characters, D as like characters I dislike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Bashir is like good for Rand to have around. And I don't know, whatever. Elaine.
Honestly,
you love Elaine.
I love Elaine. She's such a bratty little slut. Genius. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She rocks. She was born hot as shit, and it's like, okay, using that.
Right.
I think she totally freaking rocks. I would put her in A because I don't think she's just important enough to be an S. But she knows what she's got. She uses it, and she like absolutely causes chaos.
Oh yeah. I agree. I'm gonna agree with you. I'll say A. She's kind of the inverse of Avienda. Like Avienda gets into A because of her like strength and importance, whereas Elaine, just in terms of like personality, I agree.
Personality, like pettiness, S, literally going for somebody's husband just because like she feels like it.
Her main flaw, though,
funny.
Her main flaw is how much she wants Perrin.
Yeah, but she doesn't even want Perrin. She just wants. I think she wants File's husband.
Well, I think she wants like the Dragon Reborn's friend, and then eventually she wants File's husband.
True.
Anyway,
true.
She's dope. She's super fun.
I love her. I think she's so funny. Awesome. Every time I got to read about Elaine, I was like, yes, bitch, more Elaine. Yes, love her. Love her.
And speaking of yes, bitch, more love her. Brigitta Silver Bow.
S for Silver Bow.
Solid S.
God, she rocks.
Like we don't even have to talk about her, except that she rocks so much.
I could talk about her, but I like can't because I won't stop. S.
Yeah.
S for Silver Bow. Brigitta.
Solid fucking S.
Forever.
No further discussion needed.
No notes.
Gareth Bryant.
B.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
I don't feel.
I like how he treats people. Swan, especially.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put Elaine at like top of A tier.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Brent's fine. I like his relationship with Swan. Whatever. Katzwan.
Okay, tough. Really tough for me. Because I respect her so much and she drove me absolutely fucking bonkers. But like she was supposed to and she meant it and she did it. So like for me, she's between S and A, but I think I got to put her in A.
Really? Okay.
She's powerful. But she made me so mad while reading. But like part of that makes me like her more.
My gut instinct was B. Because you were pulled to the S, I'm convinced to put her up in A.
Okay. She's just bad with a capital B. You feel me? She is rolling in.
She's bad. She's a bad bitch, but like she just horribly mishandles Rand.
Yes.
And almost destroys the world because of her arrogance. But like that is, again, she is like Aes Sedai with a capital A-S.
Right.
And
to her credit, though, I feel like she learns and grows.
Yeah,
Am I
no,
wrong?
she does. She does. Like,
Yeah.
she has like a mini version of Moiraine's arc.
Yeah.
Rand just needed a mommy while Moiraine was gone, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
She was a little more
cool.
tough love.
So
Couladin.
Katzwan and us. Couladin. I don't have many thoughts about Couladin.
No, B. He's cool.
He's cool. Sure. B, C, he's whatever.
I don't care.
I liked his fight with Matt. He doesn't do much after that.
Right.
I do think it's reasonable for him to be like, what's this motherfucking wetlander coming up in here and claiming to be the goddamn card.
Yeah.
Flynn?
I don't know. C, D?
C or D?
No, wait. Remind me who he is.
He's like the old farmer, Ashaman, healing prodigy.
Really
he heals
good at
Rand.
healing.
Like he does a couple important times healing Rand.
Yeah. Okay, B. Solid B.
Yeah. Solid B.
Ahead of Couladin.
Now, for me, we're
I know
pushing
what
our
we're
first
gonna
SS territory.
Bail Doman.
Bail Doman. Bail Doman, I say solid SS.
I mean, I would say S.
Okay.
I don't know who I'd put in SS then, but
I will agree. Like, I actually don't know that I rank him above Brigitta, genuinely.
I don't think I would put him above Brigitta.
For the meme, Bail Doman is the best character in the whole. He do be the greatest character.
He do be the greatest captain. Fortune prick me. If it are not
S,
so.
He's a solid S at the very least. And speaking of Bail Doman, note on Bail Doman, if they cut him from the show, I'll be so upset. He is a fucking Taviran. He's everywhere. He's there from the very beginning in the eye of the world.
The very beginning.
He's got a motherfucking seal of the Dark One's prison.
He's got a seal of the Dark One's prison.
And he's the only one who doesn't break it.
Hello?
I don't know what they're thinking. He hasn't been cast yet, is why we're whining. He's great. Agianan?
Yeah, I like her. I think she has a cool arc. So I'd put her in A above B. I think she has a really cool arc.
I think she's a solid A, and she has the sense to lock down Bail Doman.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She put a ring on it.
Smart.
I'm jelly.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, controversial character in the fandom, not necessarily between us. Egwene.
S.
S or SS?
Fuck. S.
S. She's an S. She doesn't go above.
Because I know who I want to put in SS right now.
Yeah.
And
she doesn't hit that mark.
I will say, I love Egwene. We've talked about this. We have a video about it. Why Egwene is not that bad, you guys.
Yeah.
But she's got enough flaws to take her down to S.
Agreed. Her arc, though, as the kidnapped Amyrlin in the White Tower, I think is one of the best like mini arcs in the series.
Mm-hmm.
She is a fucking badass.
Yes.
Like we'll have to do a version of this where we rank people on badassery, and then she'll be
badassery. Yeah, that'll be fun.
But that's another video.
No.
Speaking of badass, though, who we might not like, Elida.
D.
Dislike Elida.
D for dislike Elida.
Yeah.
She's just so arrogant, right?
Yeah.
Well, and while we've talked about this in another video as well, I see Elida and Moiraine being like two sides of the same coin, where they're both convinced of their own correctness in how to manage the Dragon Reborn. But Moiraine learns and grows. Elida does not. And she sucks and gets a very fitting end, in my opinion.
Like, as a person, obviously I hate Elida. As a character, I did find her interesting. I liked that she represented like this abject, tyrannical narcissist.
Yeah.
But was not Black Aja.
No.
Like, I thought that was good.
That's very interesting, right? She built herself a palace.
Yeah.
But still thinks she's the good guy.
I thought she was like interesting to read. I want to put her at C if that's okay.
I'd put her in C. I think she's a very interesting counterbalance to the White Cloaks, right?
Yeah.
In the very beginning of the series, we see Aes Sedai, good, White Cloaks, bad, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we see like some White Cloaks who have some good ideas, and then some Aes Sedai who are also insane and misguided.
And she's basically like, she is the foil to Maureen and Swan, like directly.
Yeah.
And I think she's effective at that. Like, I don't think she's a bad character. I don't think
I'll put her in C.
story is harmed by her. Now, this one's also controversial. All of the big female characters are controversial is sort of the running theme. I wonder why. Elaine.
I know people don't like Elaine, and is she annoying? Yes. But she births
That's kind of a summary of Elaine.
What?
People don't like her, and she is annoying.
People don't like her, and she's annoying, and people don't like her for good reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put her in A, I think.
I think she's okay in A.
I think she's a really great politician. Do we like politicians? No.
I think early series Elaine is actually S tier for me.
Yeah.
I really love the way she's introduced in the Eye of the World.
Yeah.
I love her on her early adventures with Nynaeve. I love that, like, she's so passionate. She always does what she believes in, and she's like strong. She figures out how to make Terangriel.
She has the correct opinions about Galad.
She does. I start thinking Elaine verges into C territory when she. This is the cliche, you know. But my babes.
But my babes.
But like, this is a common complaint. This is not groundbreaking. Her willingness to take men's viewing that her babes will be safe and then just endanger everyone around her because she's too dumb to realize that that doesn't extend its protection to everyone forced to die to save her and her babes over and over again. It's just infuriating to watch. In fact, I think it's like out of character with the Elaine of the early series, but I'm okay. Overall, A feels comfortable to me.
Yeah. Yep.
I
feel good about it.
She gets way dumber as the series goes on. I don't
she gets dumber.
She gets really dumb by the end, and it's unfortunate.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Elias, cool character.
S.
Elias is an S. Yeah,
Elias
we're getting this theme of like these fucking just loner badasses. Elias, Bail Doman, Brigitta, they like don't fit into the world, but they're just sick as hell.
Sick as hell. And people love them regardless, right? It's not that they're total loners. They have people that love them and they love people. They're just sort of outside.
Well, Elias doesn't have people who love him. But he's got wolves.
Wolves and Perrin and Egwene.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I guess in the later Perrin arc, he does start traveling with Perrin's army.
Yes. Yeah, I love Elias. I think he's so like exactly what he says he's going to be. And is.
He's great. I love him.
Great.
Fail.
D.
D.
She's so annoying.
I'm okay with sticking her in D because I do think early book Fail deserves it so much.
So much. I really wanted to like Fail. I love a big nose. She comes in, she's hot. She has a huge nose. She doesn't give a
no, she's just doing her thing.
But like her weird obsession with like, I'm not a rich girl. I'm down to earth. I'm a warrior is like very annoying. The way she treats Perrin, where she's like, Perrin, I want you to abuse me and scream at me. It's like good for a husband to do that.
She is frankly abusive to Perrin, like
absolutely abusive.
Yeah, no, she's a D. Like, I think at the very end of the series, when she's matured a little bit, like, I do think she's good for Perrin to learn how to be a leader. Like, she is very capable.
Definitely.
But as a person, can't stand her.
Can't stand. And all the chapters about her in...
Oh my God.
In captivity.
The Shido camp. Oh my God. It's so annoying.
Oh, I dreaded those chapters. It was just like so draining. I was like, okay, I hate that this is happening to you because it does suck, but like also you suck and this sucks.
And this, we know most people share these opinions. Some people like Fael and I get it. She's a capable woman.
She's cool. I really want to like Fael, but I just don't.
I can't do it. Galad.
I would start out C, but then he hooks up with Barrelane, which puts him to B for me. Because then at least he's got good taste. He's like, she's fucking hot as hell. And he doesn't care that she's like...
B for boning Barrelane.
B for boning Barrelane. Yeah, honestly, that like just that alone took him up in my esteem. He's boring. He's the Superman character, right?
Yeah, yeah. he's explicitly boring. Like that is his characterization.
Mhm.
And at that, I think it's successful.
Very.
I like that he kind of redeems the White Cloaks a little bit.
Love
like
that.
it makes sense to me that he fell in with the White Cloaks.
Yep.
And then I'm glad that when he got into power, he was
It also
able,
makes sense that he made the White Cloaks what they should be. That makes a lot of sense to me.
exactly.
That he would
Like
get in
he
there
is
and be
what
like,
a White
wait,
Cloak.
what?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I think he's fine.
He's fine.
And he's like the scene of Gawain and Galad versus Matt, when Matt like whips ass.
One of my favorite, if not my favorite scene in the entire series.
Exactly. So just
love
for
that quarterstaff fight.
he deserves a B. Gall, good buddy to Perrin.
Great buddy.
Good buddy. He like fucking murks a Forsaken at the end there.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
I don't remember.
In Charming Guidon, he's like protecting Perrin in the world of dreams. And I'm not there in my reread yet, so I shouldn't say. Solid B. Yeah, we don't have to talk about him. Gawain. We even have to talk about him. Gawain. Sorry.
God,
Gawain.
I really want to like him. He's so good in the first book.
He's great in the first book. I love him when we're introduced to him.
Love him when we're introduced to him. And then he just continues to fuck up and not learn. That's my most frustrating thing with Gawain or Gawain or Gawain or however they choose to pronounce it. Gawain. Yeah. I think I say Gawain or Gawain. I don't know. He refuses to learn. He refuses to take advice. He refuses to change his opinions, even in the face of like evidence or words from people he knows and respects. And that is just so frustrating.
Yeah.
He gets killed, and is it useful? Does he die in this like beautiful, spectacular death like Egwene's that like helps people? No. He kills
Egwene because he's a dumb. He's a big dumb.
He sucks so bad. So yeah, he dies. He challenges a Forsaken, and like the Forsaken is like and kills him like instantly. And it's like not even hard. He just sucks. He's stupid, and I wish he didn't. The end. D.
Yeah, again, wasted potential, but a solid D.
Solid.
And he doesn't even get boosted up because of that Matt Galad quarterstaff fight.
No,
sorry,
Gawain. Sorry, not worth it.
In the eye of the world, though, Gawain, you're an A.
A. So solid A.
It up. Heron, the Sniffer.
I love Heron.
What are you thinking? A.
A.
Okay, not much to talk about. He like isn't a very prominent character outside of book 2, really.
No,
but yeah,
I like
Ingtar.
him. C. He gets
C.
What would you say? D.
Maddie says Huron is an SS because sniffing is OP.
Sniffing, he's OP at sniffing for sure.
Yeah. I really love Ingtar's story. I love the scene with Rand and Ingtar at the end when Ingtar sacrifices himself and he's am I still redeemable? And Rand gives him his like last rites.
Yes, I found that scene very touching. I found everything leading up to it very obvious.
Yeah.
Like it was so obvious to me that he was the bad guy who was like secretly, a dark friend. He was obsessed with the horn.
Yeah.
I just found that really obvious. I was like, well, he's clearly a bad guy. And then I do love his last scene, which is why I gave him a C.
Okay.
Love that last scene with Rand.
I would have given him an A, so we'll put him in B. Just for that last scene and like the importance it serves for the themes of the story. Like no man is so far gone to the shadow that they can't be pulled back to the light.
Okay.
And
all right.
like
I respect
what it
that.
allows for Rand to express in that moment to like learn that lesson is so important for him. A B.
And I also do love what I love about Rand is that he never tells anyone.
No,
he never tells anyone that Ingtar was the one who,
because in Rand's mind, like Ingtar turned back to the light.
Turned back to the light, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Which I love.
And I think that's really beautiful.
Rhodell Itaralde. Just one of the great captains. He's fine.
See?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, he's cool. He's like a good captain.
Cool. He's fine.
Like,
I'm just not interested.
By that time, like Matt is everything he is and more.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever. Grady. Ashaman.
See? He's fine.
Okay. He's fine. Yeah, like, and to be clear, like these C tier characters, except for Elida, because we have strong thoughts on Elida, they're mostly just like characters that we don't dislike. You know, they have a role in the story, but we're not going to get them tattooed on our body anytime soon.
No.
But speaking of a character we might get tattooed on our body, Lan, baby.
That's our first SS, baby. Get him up there. Get him up there. Boom. Right where he belongs at the top of the list.
No question.
I love the Child King of Malkir. The golden crane does fly for Tarmangadon. Great taste in women.
Great taste in women. Reading
the series again, I realized how instantly him and Nynaeve are a thing.
It's from the very beginning. Yeah.
They set eyes on each other and are like, end game. Yeah. Done. Their first conversation they have alone ever, he's like, literally says like, I hate the man who would marry you, but I'd be happy if he makes you smile.
I just went through that scene last night.
He
is a smooth motherfucker. Yes.
I love those words that he says to her.
Yeah, I shall hate the man you end up with because he is the girl. And I shall love him if he makes you happy.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? That line, I was like, oh, as a hopeless romantic, I'm done. And that's literally like the first conversation they ever have.
Yeah, they're great. Okay, Lan, solid SS, no question.
Solid.
Does he have his flaws? Obviously, SS doesn't mean lack of flaws. SS means we love him so much. Okay, Leanne.
Leanne's cool,
but Leanne, she's fine. A,
B.
I like that she's like embraces her womanliness.
Oh, I do like that.
I like that arc actually.
Yeah, give her to A.
Yeah, A. And she's like so effective. Like Swan gets all the credit for like mentoring Egwene and whatever in the little tower, but like Leanne is just as important.
And Leanne's not afraid to use her friggin' rod of the keeper or the staff of the keeper to like bash some friggin' heads in, and I respect that about her.
And she's not afraid to make it clear to any men she finds attractive that she'd love to, grab their staff of the keeper.
Absolutely. She literally says that to Rand, I think, the first time she meets him. She's like, you're super young, but like, I'd hit it.
Yeah. Speaking of I'd hit it, Luz Theron.
For me, he's an S, baby.
He's an S. He's a solid S.
Solid S. Is he crazy? Batshit.
Yeah. So there's two different Luz Therons.
More than anything.
Luz Theron, the actual Luz Theron from the Age of Legends, the dragon, who I do think is a solid S. Like everything we learn about him, that dude's dope.
That dude rocks.
And then there's Luz Theron, the voice in Rand's head, who is
even more interesting.
Quite probably just a manifestation of Rand's own insanity and not actually Luz Theron, but still an S for me. I love that voice. Okay, Leandrin.
D.
Yeah,
she's just too friggin' stupid. She's actually not very smart. We've talked about this before, but Leandrin is such an effective Black Aja dark friend because of her willingness to be cruel, and she has absolutely no compunctions and even has a special talent of being especially cruel.
Yeah.
So that's why she's good at it. She's not smart. She's not powerful. She's not a good leader. She's not funny or interesting. She's just kind of a bitch.
She's bad.
She's just
a bad character. I don't like her. Her narrative role could have been played by someone much more interesting, and that would have been great. Logan. Logan is a lot of people's favorite character. Rafe Judkins, the showrunner of the Wheel of Time on Prime series, loves Logan so much that he has an expanded role in season 1. He's being made into, I think, kind of like the main villain, at least for the first part of season 1. You think he's the main villain. What do you think about Logan?
I find Logan to be a little cliche.
Yeah.
I think he gets a lot more credit than he's due. I think what you said earlier, like, bing, popped a light bulb into my head. Logan should have had the storyline and the position that Andral had. And if he had, I would like him more.
Yeah.
But he gets a lot of credit for just being really powerful. And like he has some good lines when he talks about like, you know, being healed from being gentled. Like he has some very interesting things to say about that. But I just don't find him that interesting.
I don't either. Like the way he's described in Eye of the World when Rand sees him, like in the cage, where it's like he carried himself like a king, and it's like he's just like this ultra charismatic figure. I don't think that pans out in the Logain we meet, and obviously we meet him after he's been gentled. But even at the end of the story, he's really more of just like an arrogant narcissist than a charismatic leader to me.
Yeah.
And
I think he gets way more credit than he's due.
Yeah, I think he's a B for me.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Loyal.
SS baby.
SS baby. No question. No question.
Damn, I love Loyal. Oh, I love that book reading nerd. I love him.
That big pockets. But
I love his pockets full of books.
A big axe.
I love his ear fetish.
He's so good.
I love that he's a wife guy. He loves his wife.
Yeah.
I love that he's afraid of his mom.
He's great. He's so important. I love him so much. So important.
All of his opinions are always correct.
He's always right about everything. Series,
anytime he says something, I'm like, you're right.
If like Rand had just had Loyal on as an advisor throughout the series, everything would have been so much easier.
Everything would have been so much easier. And I just want to tease something. We have to talk about the Ogre. The Ogier.
In another episode, in
another What Told Us Then, because I think the Ogre are fascinating in the world, and we got to talk about that. But Loyal, absolutely. What is he? He's loyal, baby.
He's loyal,
not even to a fault. To his credit, he just rocks.
He rocks. He's dope. No complaints. Actually, the only character with no flaws. Okay, but speaking of character with flaws, but who I still think might be SS, Matrim Cawthon.
Matrim Cawthon. Ah, yeah, SS, baby.
SS. I just can't not. He's like my favorite. I know he's got his flaws.
He's not my favorite. He might be like my second favorite.
Yeah, he's up there.
I love reading his chapters. I love how he's like, I'm not a good guy. I don't give a fuck about you. And then what does he do? Only good shit. Yeah. Like, takes care of an orphan child, rescues Maureen from the other dimension when all he can talk about in the previous books is like how much he terrifies him and annoys him and how he doesn't want to be around her. Like, he's just so awesome. I love his luck.
I love luck. I was about to say, like, it's
should be so uninteresting. That should be like, take all the stakes out of it. And that should be like boring to read about because it's always powerful. But somehow Robert Jordan makes it absolutely fascinating, captivating. And
I think we'll have a whole episode about Matt and Matt's luck where we'll get into that. But solid SS for me. Solid. Always know a Matt chapter is going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Mazrim Taim.
I roll. I would give him a D for how much I don't like him. I might give him a C for how much problems he causes. And like, he's a good adversary.
Yeah.
I don't think he's creative. He's friggin' Samael reincarnated, like, or Moridan. Just like, jealous much, bitch? Like, you cannot even compare to Rand. So the fact that he like ever had the thought that like he should lead the Black Tower and could like step to Rand is just like, that's just me. You're delusional, baby. You have nothing on our boy.
Just a jealous little fuck.
So jealous.
I like, the only reason he gets a C from me is because he does say kneel or you will be knelt. And that's one of the badass lines.
That is a fucking badass line. I do love that. I do love that.
Okay, Min. I like Min.
I know you do.
I think Min's a solid
I have issues with Min, but I think those are my issues and not Min's issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very happy with putting her in A.
Yeah. I don't think she reaches the same tier as these others. I think she's a good character. I think she's really important for Rand.
I love her power. I love the viewing.
Her power's fascinating.
I wish she was more interesting as a person.
Yeah. Yeah. She could have been better.
I find her a little empty, a little, is she a Mary Jane? No.
No, she's not a Mary Sue.
Mary Sue, that's what they call it. I don't give a shit.
Mary Sue's have to be like super powerful. Like if she had her viewing power and Nynaeve's channeling power and was Taviran.
Okay, that would be Mary Sue. No, that's not what I mean about it. What I mean is the way that she can just like be projected upon. She's kind of blank in that way for me.
I don't know. I think we'll see a really interesting take on men in this show. I think men in this show could be phenomenal.
I'm really excited for men in the show. Very excited.
Very excited. But in the books, showed a ton of potential. Robert Jordan just wasn't the right person to be writing a dope, gender bendy, like badass proto queer. But that's what she should have been, and I think that's what she should have been.
I instead of seeing her as a gender bendy proto queer, just saw her as like a pick me tomboy.
Not like other girls.
Not like other girls, tomboy. Which pick me's get my hackles up. So, but I don't think that's what she was. She just gave me some of those vibes sometimes, and could be seen that way. I don't think
that's what she was.
I don't think that's what she was either. Genuine. I like her a lot more than that. Yeah. But I think she kind of lived in that world.
We got another solid SS coming up here.
Oh, yeah.
Maureen's.
Get her up there. Top of the list.
Get her up there.
Top of the list. Put her next to Lan.
Yeah, she deserves
They deserve to be together always. I love their completely platonic relationship.
It's so good.
Respect and fondness.
Yeah. It's so good. When she's like watching Lan and Nynaeve fall in love, and it's just like not even a question that this is going to be a love triangle situation. I thought that was so important.
I loved that. I love how she took it out of his hand, right? The way a good friend would.
Yeah.
Took it out of his hands.
You're being dumb. You're being dumb here, Lan.
When I die, which I think that's badass that she's like, when I die.
Yeah. When I die.
I'm giving you to the woman you should do it.
When I tackle the motherfucking forsaken Lanfear through a twisted doorway into another dimension, having no idea what's going to be on the other side. She is a fucking badass.
Yes.
And she's so strong, and everything she does in the Eye of the World is so good. And
she's so good.
When she comes
arrogant? Does she think that does she have a messiah complex where she thinks she's really the one going to save the end of the world because she's the one who's going to control the Dragon Reborn? Yes. But does she learn and grow?
She does.
Absolutely.
She has
absolutely
the second best arc in the series.
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Huge arc. I love her in the beginning and I love her in the end.
I love who she is when she comes back. Oh, when like all the forces of the light are meeting and Rand and Egwene are fighting, and then Maureen walks in.
Stop.
It is so good.
Chills. Goosey bumps. Also a moment I love when they get out of the tower, the scary metal tower of another dimension. And Tom like wraps her in his cloak.
It's so good.
And they're reunited, and Matt's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You guys are a thing.
And then you go back to the Eye of the World, and you're like, again, like Lan and Nynaeve, actually the seeds have been there the whole time.
I die.
So good.
I absolutely die. I love them. I love that. I love them. The end. SS.
Moving on. More gays.
She sucks, and then she rocks. B.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, her scene where she's like channeling what little power she has to flap the little flag is good. I liked that. Otherwise, her refusal to tell Fail and Perrin who she is, I think is inexplicable and stupid.
Very annoying.
Anyway, Moridan shouldn't be on the list because he's
on the list because we tried to get rid of all the Forsaken. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of him now. Bye.
Okay.
Narishma.
He's hot.
The one who comes after.
All they say about him is that he's just like so hot. I love a man in braids.
Oh, the bells.
Who's that guy? Carrie Joji Fukunaga. That's who I picture. You know, when he had Carrie Joji Fukunaga, when he was accepting his Emmy for True Detective, and he had those long French braids, my entire friend group, Twitter timeline, everyone I knew that is attracted to men absolutely exploded in horniness. That's how I feel about Narishma. So I'm going to put him in B or A.
B?
Honestly, A, just because he's so hot. For me, he's
at
like
least an A. I
He's
love
at
that he's
least
the
an A.
only Ashaman that Rand trusts. I love that
Yeah.
he's the one who comes after. Like, there's this great destiny foretold with him and Kalendor. I think he's dope, and like I would love to know what happens to him in the Fourth Age. Sadly, we don't.
Yeah,
I think he's dope.
Yeah, A. I don't know why I ever said B. A.
Yeah.
I love Narishma.
Adrian Nile, Lord Captain Commander of the Children of the Light.
D.
Yeah, I don't like him. Whatever.
Because he's only in it for himself. Literally that like one chapter where he's kind of a badass in the way that he thwarts Haim Carradine.
Yeah, I think maybe he's a C. Like, maybe he's a D. He's annoying.
But he literally only talks about how he wants to be like the best Lord Commander ever and wants to like go down in history as the greatest Lord Commander and start this whole country that's like only his for the children of the light. It's just like a little narcissistic and a little like boomer mentality. I just get a lot of boomer vibes.
Yeah. Speaking of boomers, Noel, Jane Farstrider.
No, I said Noel.
Noel, whatever.
Is it Noel or Noel? Who cares? Who cares? I like him a lot. Is he important enough to be an A? Yeah, I'd put him in A.
He's
just
A.
I don't
He's
think
really
he ever does anything wrong.
He goes into the Tower of Genji with Matt and Tom.
Yeah, which
he's
totally
Jane
wrong.
Farstrider, and so in a sense, he's been there since the Eye of the World.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, put him in A. He rocks. He rocks. All right, here we go. Here's my favorite.
Not even a question. This one.
Not even a question where Nynaeve belongs. She belongs up next to Lan.
Nynaeve is an SS. Nynaeve is my favorite. I love Nynaeve.
I think she's my favorite character. She's also a character like Matt who drives me insane, but I don't see that as a flaw. I think that's a really good character. And we've talked about this in other podcasts, but Nynaeve is always dedicated to her people. Right? Does she like silky dresses a lot? Yes, she does. Who doesn't, girl? I get you.
Yeah, Nynaeve is so good. Nynaeve, like when I started reading this series as like a 13-year-old, obviously she annoyed the hell out of me in Eye of the World. I was like, what are you doing? You're holding them back. Just let them go. Then by the end of the series, I was like, oh, Nynaeve fucking rocks. And then every reread since then, I'm like, oh, now I understand who Nynaeve is. Everything she does in the Eye of the World makes so much more sense.
So much sense.
And unquestioned SS. And I'm so glad she ends up with Lan. Ulver.
D, annoying.
D, annoying. Yeah. I'm going to put him in C. I can't put him in the same rank as these people.
Okay, sure. I find him just really annoying and I don't care.
Sure. Whatever. Pad and Fade.
I mean, bitch be crazy.
Bitch be crazy.
Did I love reading his chapters? Yes. Do I love how he talks to himself in different voices? Absolutely. He's got a Gollum Smeagol thing going, and I love that.
Reminds me of myself.
But he is literally evil, so...
Oh, that's okay. You can like evil.
I do like him. And he's super powerful. Man, he fucks shit up.
Yeah. I think the question is between S and A for me personally.
Okay, then S.
Yeah.
Oh, S and A. S. I gotta do it.
Yes. I think he's just cool. He's like a weirdo.
He's so fucking weird.
Yeah. I don't like his little fight with Matt at the end of the series, but whatever. I like him. Sure.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a letdown, right?
Where do we put Perrin?
S. I love Perrin. I love his goodness. I love his powers, his wolfy powers. He frustrates me so much the way he refuses to accept them.
That's why I want to put him at A.
And I love a himbo.
Me. Okay, Perrin, end of series Perrin. End game Perrin, who has accepted the wolf, mastered Teleron Riode, fucking stopping Balefire because it's like just like a it's not real. It's just a weave. And when he's fighting with the Glen there, that Perrin is S. Perrin of the Shaido arc. Perrin of the refusing to accept his wolf powers. That to me is a solid B tier character. But I'm okay with him being S because of where he ends up, because he is one of the 3 boys.
I think he's good for the other boys.
Yeah.
I like him as an S. I like him more than I like Avienda and Elaine.
That's fair. That's fair. Maddie has said Fane went from an S to a B with just how stupidly hard it was for them to get a hold of him. And it went from feeling like a character trait to just bad writing. And if his story had ended earlier, he would have been better. And I actually agree with that. I
don't disagree with that.
Bad. I'm okay with putting him, maybe let's say A then.
Yeah, let's say A. What happens if we fill up our column?
Oh, it'll keep going.
Oh, okay.
We can start kicking characters down too. Pevara.
What do you think?
I don't like her. I have the same problems with Pevara that I do with Andral. Like, her plot is annoying and came out of nowhere and took up too much time at the end of a series that I felt like should have been given to other characters. And yeah, I put her as a C. I just didn't care about her at all.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't even know why she's on this list.
Yeah. Randall Thor.
Top of the list. Number one.
Top of the list. Number one arc. My favorite arc in all of fiction. He's Randall Thor.
He's Randall Thor. He's the best. Does he suck? Yes. Does he rock? Yes. Do I love him? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Rand. I love him so much. And
love
he's
him
the
so
best
much.
character.
Love him so much.
Well, obviously we need to have a whole long ass video about Rand.
Definitely.
Ruark.
S.
Solid S.
That guy kicks ass.
Ruark.
I know. So on Twitter, there was recently a discussion between who would win between Ruark and Lan in a fight.
In hand-to-hand combat, no powers.
Hand-to-hand combat, no powers. Probably Ruark, right? Because Lan gets the boost of the warder powers.
I said Ruark because I think Ruark and Lan are probably equivalent in terms of just training and battle experience. They're the same age. And Ruark is just a little bigger. So I think
Ruark's a little bigger, and he's had the benefit of training in the Aiel Wasteland, which, I mean, Lan's been training in the Blight.
Yeah. And Lan, like, I am confident Lan is a master of unarmed combat, but also, like, is... If weapons, if this was Lan and his sword versus Ruark and his spears, I would take
Lan
every time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hand-to-hand combat, I said Ruark for sure.
But Ruark might not survive.
Solid S. Love him. So good.
Love him as an advisor to Rand as well.
Yeah, he's a great influence on Rand.
Great.
Get out of here, you Forsaken.
Get out of here.
Samael trying to sneak into our tier list.
No.
Okay, Savannah, D.
D, worst ever. Hate her.
Don't even
Despise.
want to talk about her. Shadar Haran.
Honestly, sick nasty. B.
Sick nasty B. I'm okay with that.
Sick nasty. Scary.
Yeah, scary.
Scary bitch. Shouldn't be that smart or.
Oh, I love him as a character.
Yeah, scary.
Swan.
I love Swan. Is it S or A for me?
That's the question. I think she's either like top A or an S. And
top A or S. Yeah, I don't know. I think she rocks. I love that she can't channel anymore. And at first it brings her down. I feel like that's really accurate to how a person would respond to that. But she really doesn't let it break her.
I'm going to put her in S.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in this world of Elida's patron Niles, especially in the context of the White Tower, where all these like just the arrogance of everyone,
of the people in power,
who goes from Amerlin's seat, most powerful woman in the world, to being stilled and then accepting her role as like an advisor to Egwene and like overcoming whatever jealousy and ego shit that stirs up for her, and just like
first is a washerwoman, you know.
And just like helping Egwene, like genuinely helping for the good of Egwene, for the good of the world, and not for her like own position. Like, I think she deserves a S tier.
Yeah. And even when she is the most powerful woman in the world, like, look at her office in the White Tower. It's like a wood table, a wood chair.
Yeah, she's great.
She's rocks.
Great. The more I think about her, the more I'm talking myself into confidently putting her in
S. Yep, agreed.
And I love all of her fish idioms.
Love fish idioms.
Sorrella.
A.
Sorrella is at least an A. She's be
at least an A. I don't want to put her in S just because I don't know her that well. Yeah. But she's awesome the way she helps Egwene. She's very smart and wise. Literally the wisest one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Sorrella fan.
Sorrella is great. Yeah, she's an A. She's a solid A. I want to move one of these A's down so that we can get onto one row again.
But we might put more A's in the future.
I know. We're almost done.
We're almost done. We'll adjust. Let's do all of them and then adjust.
It's more because we can't I don't like having to scroll to get things on the screen, but I can do this because I'm not stupid.
You're so
look at that. Slayer.
D. Annoying.
Yeah, he's annoying. I don't think he's a good character.
No, I don't.
He's a distraction. Him. He's annoying. He's OP. An unearned OP.
Unearned OP.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like him.
No.
He's not a good foil to Perrin.
No, really not. Really not a good foil. If he was this powerful, we would have met him before that book. We would.
Yeah, I think it could have been interesting. He's mentioned, Luke and Isam are both mentioned in book 1.
Right.
But I just think he's bad for the story. I don't think he's a good foil to Perrin. I don't think his powers make any sense that he's that strong. I think Perrin should have had a better antagonist that was more Anyway, Talon Boar. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy, but I like that he's a wife guy, so I would give him a C or a B.
He's a wife guy, and he's into older women, which I respect.
Honestly, that rocks. Love that.
Yeah. I love that he sees this woman who's older than him. She's the queen. He's got this power dynamic thing going on, which I respect. I respect it. Talon Boar.
Yeah.
Talmanes. This is an S or an A for me.
Gosh, that's tough. I really like Talmanes, but I'm gonna put him in A.
A. I think he's good. I like his character. I like his witty humor. I think he's a really good straight man for Matt. I just don't think he does enough. He's not vital enough. He's not integral enough for the story to be an S for me.
Yeah.
Unlike Bail Dome.
I kind of see him as a Gareth Bryn, and Gareth Bryn is a B. I kind of like Gareth Bryn more than I like Talmanes.
I like Talmanes. Talmanes is funny.
He is funny. He's really funny.
Yeah. I think he's A for the comedy.
I hope you know what I will say about the show? I hope they do not do the
Marvel
canonical half-shaved head for the Kyrian and nobles.
Oh, yeah. That's a dumb look.
It looks like it would be really ugly, and I don't want to look at it.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Good.
This show obviously is trying to be hot as hell.
Hot as hell, and I appreciate it.
I love it. You see that picture of Daniel Henney that was going around Twitter?
God, did I see it with my eyes or my heart or my groin?
This show's going to be hot, if nothing else.
Let's go.
Tamal Thor.
S.
Solid S. I mean, verging on S.
Raises the Dragon Reborn. He's a big reason why we love Rand so much.
Yeah, he's so vital for Rand. Best dad.
Be my dad,
good.
Tam.
Be my dad.
I have a great dad, and I still want Tam to be my dad.
Yes.
Love
Tam is so good. Yeah. Tom Maryland.
SS. Get him up there.
SS.
Top of the list.
And
just
listen,
rocks.
You're talking to two improvisers right now. There's maybe reasons for Tom not to be on the same tier as these characters, but if I were in the Wheel of Time, I would be a Gleeman. I know myself.
Yeah.
And
I just think he's awesome. I love that he's a huge gossip. Yes, bitch. Love that. Love how we love his mustaches.
I love his mustaches, but they might not make the show, which just makes me so sad.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he might not have mustaches in the show. It's we can talk about
I would find that egregious. I would find that absolutely egregious.
But yeah, SS, he's got the second best taste in women after Lan.
Yeah.
He is just so talented. He takes on a fucking Murdraw in the Eye of the World to save Rand and Matt. He's a badass. And he's just an old guy too. He is past his prime.
Also just a guy. Look at
Just
the
a
other
guy.
people in SS.
Literally no powers.
Every single one of them have powers except for Tom. No powers, just a dude, still hangs out with the most badass of the pack simply by force of coolness.
Yeah, and okay, there are some legitimate complaints. I don't think they're complaints about like Tom per se, but maybe about the writing of the story, that you have this Tom, he keeps ending up with all these hot younger women.
Yes.
And sure, whatever.
To be fair, Maureen is not younger.
She's like 45 and he's like 60 maybe.
She is.
Yeah, younger. Maureen's in her 40s. But also to be fair, would I get with Tom as a 28-year-old?
Yes.
Yes, I would.
Yes, I would.
So
really then it's only 2.
It feels really believable to me.
Yeah.
Like,
also it's only 2. It's just Maureen and what's her name? Cute girl who gets murdered.
The cute girl who gets murdered in Carrion. Yeah. Well, people are like also like he was with Morgaze, but
he was young when he was with Morgaze.
Yeah, but Morgaze was younger too.
Oh.
He's a fucking charismatic ass court bard, and I get it.
Come on, he's a court bard. Come on, he's a bard.
Okay.
That's all you need to say.
When in Tarman Gaidon, you just have this guy who's literally just a fucking Gleeman, and he's just posted outside of Shai Al Ghul, like just fucking knifing these dark frame bitches. I love that image so much. Oh, he's so good. 2 on. 2 on. Daughter of the Nine Moons. Empress.
I want to give her A.
Yeah, she's definitely A or B. I mean, she's okay. She's an A from sheer badassery, but I don't enjoy her.
I don't like her. No, I like what she does to Matt, like how she makes him unstable. That's like fun to read.
Just her ability to stand up to like Rand at, I think, the peak of his scariness and like just kind of stare him down. She's a badass.
She's a badass. I could put her in B though.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking her in A. Maybe. I don't know. Let's leave her there for now. I'm not sure about her.
And if you're wondering if it's like small on the screen you're watching, she's wearing a veil. This is why the bottom half of her face is red. It's not like a stream of blood.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. Yeah. So yeah, 2 on is a slaver, and I don't like her for that. So we don't like her. We don't support her moral choices.
Nope.
But we recognize her strength. Talon is a rapist.
Talon is a rapist, so I'd put her in D.
Yeah, automatic D.
Automatic D for being a rapist.
Series. For being a rapist. Pretty cut and dry, actually.
Yeah. Does Matt have some like weird Stockholm syndrome sympathy when she dies? Yes.
Yeah. But that's a whole complicated story. We could make a complicated video about Matt and Talon.
Definitely.
But for now, that's an auto D in my book.
Auto D, being a rapist.
Yeah. Uno.
D, annoying.
Annoying? I love Uno.
Wait. Very quickly, I got Uno mixed up with Massima. Uno is an A.
Yeah, Massima's a D. Uno fucking rocks.
Uno's an A.
Okay.
He flaming rocks. Yeah, we love
flaming rocks. He's so good. Yeah, there's not much more to say about Uno.
Mm-hmm.
He's just fun. Varen's to die. The last. I'm glad we got a goodie for the end.
Yeah. Oh gosh, SS or S?
Varen's a solid SS. Are you kidding me?
Literally walks up to the Dark One's front door.
Yeah.
Gets invited in.
Yeah.
And is like, nah. Like literally takes it to his house. You feel me? Like takes the fight to the Dark One's house.
So good. When Varen, the whole like, that dress you're wearing is green, blew my mind the first time I read that series. I did not see it coming.
The first chapter when she's meddling in someone's mind, I forget who, but then, she like does her little like forget magic thing on them. But that's the first time we get the inkling that she might not be who she says she is. And I remember being like,
yeah, she's so good.
what?
Look, she's like, where were the other fucking Aes Sedai smart enough to pretend to be dark friends to get intel on the enemy? Huh? Green Aja, Battle Aja, hello. Why did it take a fucking brown to do this, you dinguses?
Yeah.
Anyway, Varen is
but smart enough, because Green doesn't have the smarts. They just have the balls, right? Yeah. Brown, she has the smarts to be like, into the hour of my death. Great. Yeah, I can do that Varen to the hour of my death.
I love Varen so much.
She is the only one really bravely to walk up to the Dark One's house, walk inside, and still be like, I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch. But like secretly. Like, what?
Yeah, it's so good.
She rocks.
And so we have 8 characters we've put in the SS tier, which maybe one could argue like kind of undermines the value of having an SS tier. But I maintain at a series of 2,500 characters of 13,000 words, it makes sense. Like, you've got these 8 badass characters. It's a sign of how good the series is. Mm-hmm. And these 8 characters are all so different.
So different.
The things we love about them are so different for all of them. And they're all still so good. Yeah, we have just as many SS tiers as we do D. Obviously, like, a lot of the bad and boring characters would not make this grouping.
This list.
But I think just like going back through some of these major characters, and I'm just like, I love them all so much. I love Bail Doman. We all know Bail Doman really deserves this spot right here. Yeah. What a good series.
Yeah, I'm looking through and I'm thinking, like, do I want to change anything? And not really. I don't.
Not really. I don't.
I feel good about these choices.
Any characters aren't on here that you think should have been that you'd want to put somewhere? Any like favorites?
Did we make any absolutely incorrect?
Well, I was asking you, but good question. Ask the fans. Any characters who aren't on this list that you think should have been? And who were we wrong about? What were we wrong about? I know you're pissed off about some decision we made today.
Definitely. Good.
And you should speak your mind. And you can speak your mind by finding us on Twitter at Spear Maidens, or going to twitch.tv/Maidens of the Spear, or looking us up on YouTube, where we are also Maidens of the Spear. And tell us what you think. What did we do right? Where did you agree with us? And where did we go horribly wrong?
Let us know.
Let us know. I've been Sarah Kaplan at Daisadai on Twitter.
I'm Mary Lou at Mary Lou Larry Moo on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been Maidens of the Spear, talking Wheel of Time, and we hope you had a really good time.